everyone, I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Colorado. Welcome back to All Up in Your Business. This month, December 2023, marks the 10-year anniversary of my law practice at 180 Law Co. And actually, this year, 2023, is my 10-year anniversary as a lawyer as well. So what I'm going to do today is tell you guys about 10 of the biggest lessons that I have learned in my last 10 years as a business owner and as a lawyer who works almost exclusively with small businesses and other business owners. And make sure you stay till the end because I have an important, announcement. I don't know. I'm going to let you guys in on a kind of somewhat important thing after this tip or lesson. So watch till the end. That's all. Before we get into the 10 lessons that I've learned after 10 years of business, if you're new to All Up in Your Business, welcome. Please subscribe, click that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video, and be sure to check the description for links to additional information and resources. And we're not really talking about like legal stuff here, but just to be safe, well, I am a lawyer. I am not your lawyer. The stuff I talk about in all of my videos is not a substitute for actual legal advice. If you need help with any legal situation, you should consult with a lawyer who's licensed in your state. All right, let's get into it. So lesson number one that I've learned from 10 years in business is take advantage of people around you. Now, I don't mean take advantage of people in like the bad sense. Don't take advantage to someone else's detriment, but take advantage of people around you, your colleagues, other business owners, other professionals. Learn from people around you. This can look like something like a mentorship or joining groups or trade associations with other people in your industry. People as a whole are a really great resource for lots of things. And so talk to people, learn from them, ask for help, accept help when it's offered to you, all of that. When I went into law school and being in law school and just kind of, watching lawyers on TV and stuff, I had this impression that lawyers were going to be like mean and not want to help me as a new fellow lawyer. That couldn't have been further from the truth. I ask for help from my lawyer colleagues all the time. I am happy to help other lawyers as well. And so just have this open mind of, talking to other people. Don't be afraid to ask for help or get input, suggestions from those around you. Lesson number two is somewhat related to that, and that is learn from others, but take what works for you and trash the rest. Don't feel pressured to do what everybody else is doing just because they're like, oh, this is the secret. If you want a 7-figure business, this is the thing you've got to do. So listen to others, learn from others, but don't think that just because this is what others are doing, I have to do this exact same thing too. Take what you can, use what works for you, get rid of the stuff that doesn't. An example in my business, a lot of my lawyer colleagues are really heavy on like flat fees and alternative fees to traditional hourly billing. I'm really big on flat fees too, but sometimes hourly, the regular good old hourly billing just works better for me or just works better for my clients. So even though I try to do a lot of flat fees, sometimes it's just easier, just makes sense to do with what I know works well, which is hourly billing. So just because everybody else is so heavy on these flat fee things, if it doesn't work for me in all instances, I'm not going to do it. And even more importantly, when you are talking to colleagues and talking to others and trying to learn from others, make sure you're talking to and taking in things from people who are different from you as well, getting different perspectives, different life views, different experiences. All of that is going to help you grow and improve as a business owner as well. Lesson number three is don't feel pressure, too much pressure to like grow and scale your business. If you look at business coaches or anyone who's trying to help you improve your business, if you're scrolling through Instagram and seeing posts from business coaches and stuff, you might see a lot about scaling. You have to scale your business. That's how you really get successful. And you have to do all of these things to grow your business. And while, yeah, that probably worked for that coach, that probably works for a lot of people, that doesn't mean you have to do that. Listen, I am 10 years into my law practice. I am still a solo attorney. I don't have associates. I don't have other lawyers working for me. I don't have a paralegal and an assistant, blah, blah, blah. I have a few people who help me with some stuff, but for the most part, my business is just me. And even 10 years in, I like it that way. I don't want to scale and have this huge law firm with lots of lawyers under me. That might be cool and I might make a lot more money, but man, does that sound stressful. And I don't want to deal with all that stuff. So if growth and scaling is what appeals to you, and if that's what you think is going to help you in your business, do it. But if it doesn't sound like something you want to do, then don't. Stay solo, stay small, stay with what you like and what works well for you. Lesson 4, I think, is a really important one that a lot of us probably learn on our own pretty quickly in. Lesson 4 is you're gonna fail a lot, and that's okay. It's okay. It's going to happen. You're gonna try things, services or products that aren't going to work the way you wanted them to. Or you're gonna try to do something that's going to grow your business or do some big marketing plan to bring in new customers. It's not always going to work. Some things are going to fail. They're supposed to fail. That's how we learn, like, okay, that thing didn't work for me in that instance. Move on to something else. Don't feel like you're a failure just because some aspect of your business didn't work out the way you thought it would. In that same vein, lesson number 5 is that you're also going to make a lot of mistakes and you're going to have unhappy clients or unhappy customers. That's just kind of the way it goes when you're in business. Mistakes happen. I've done it myself. I'm not perfect, of course. I've screwed up, made little mistakes here and there. It happens. Acknowledging the mistake and apologizing for it goes a really long way. I promise. Sometimes it can be embarrassing to like own up to, ooh, I screwed that up. But when you have an unhappy customer or an unhappy client, taking ownership of the mistake and apologizing for it can be very powerful. Oh, hey, Bird. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Bird will help me bring in lesson. Oh, okay. Never mind. There she goes. Lesson number 6 is probably one of my favorites. It is make your own definition of success and what success means to you. Kind of like how I was talking about with the earlier lessons. You know, everyone's telling us we need to scale. We need to be making 7 figures. Wait, 7 figures isn't enough. We need to be making 8 figures. You need to have employees and you need to have all these people on your staff. And until you do that, you're not a success. I think that's a bunch of crap. If you feel successful, then listen, you're successful. Make your own definition of what success is, and when you've reached that, then hey, look at you, you're successful. I'll tell you, with my own life and business and my law practice, I'm on a different stage than a lot of my other lawyer colleagues are. Many of them, you know, are bringing in millions and millions of dollars, and they have these law firms with lawyers working under them and all this other stuff. And they are successful in their own right. I'm not at that stage. I'm not there. I am still, like I said, solo, but I still feel successful because I get to do work that I most of the time enjoy doing. I have a lot of flexibility in my schedule. I can, you know, take a day off if I want. I can take a month off if I want, which I did recently. I took a month-long vacation, and I can like generally buy and pay for the things that I want to pay for without having to check my bank account constantly. And the fact that I don't hate my job, I have flexibility and freedom in my schedule, and I'm not stressed about money all the time, all of that by itself makes me feel successful. So I'm perfectly happy with where I am. Lesson number 7 is one that you've probably heard a lot, and I've heard it a lot. I continue to hear it a lot, and I continue to try to remind myself of it, but saying no is probably one of the best things that you can do for yourself and your business, in my opinion at least. Sometimes it feels really difficult to say no, but once we do, it feels a lot better. Like saying no to that client that you're just not really jiving with, or that you know is probably probably going to annoy you or be problematic. Say no to them, even though you are saying no to potential income that you might really, really need. 99% of the time, the money that you might make from that problem client is not going to be worth it. Or say no to these opportunities that might come up that just don't excite you. Maybe you get invited to some speaking opportunity, and yeah, I could be in front of these people and I could have this stage and this platform to speak, but I don't want to. That doesn't sound exciting to me. Or maybe it does, but they're not offering to pay me. And that taking out that time and that effort isn't really going to make it worth it. Say no to those opportunities if they don't get you excited, if they don't pump you up. Just say no to stuff, okay? Lesson number 8 is a really, really difficult one for me even now, but I try to remind myself of it. Even if delegating is really difficult, try to do it as much as you can. Delegating is, I hate admitting it, because it's one of those things that you hear, oh, you got to delegate, you got to do it. And so you feel this pressure, why am I responding to all my emails? I should be delegating this. But in reality, it really is a huge lifesaver to not have to handle every single teeny little bit and aspect of your business. So as much as you can and are comfortable with doing so, delegate, especially the things that you know aren't your strength and or that you really don't have time for. A good example with me is social media and marketing. Keeping up, doing a social media, planning my content and all of that stuff is something that I hate doing. I kind of hate just going on social media in general, but it's important for marketing and for my business and staying in front of my potential customers and all that. So guess what? I hired that out. I found someone else to do it for me, and she does it a million times better than I ever could. And so now I don't have the worry about, planning it, and I have time to do all the other stuff. Well, this person who is this expert in social media and marketing can handle that stuff for me. Lesson number 9, I think, is also very, very important, and it's to value your own time and your own effort and your own expertise, especially when others don't. And set boundaries around that valuing of yourself, and try really hard not to compromise on those values. So this could be things like, again, speaking opportunities. Maybe someone comes to you and says, hey, I'm putting on this workshop and would love for you to speak to my attendees. But maybe they don't mention anything about paying you for it. And that might be cool with you. Maybe just the exposure or the opportunity to just get up and speak in front of people is value in itself. But for a lot of us, it's just not. I'm giving something of value to your group or to you, to your workshop, and I would like something of value in exchange. So ask for money. If you're being asked to do something for free, ask to be compensated for it, or ask for something else of value that you can get in exchange. Or say no to the people who are asking for free information, free consultations. Or, oh, can I just pick your brain for a minute? Can I just ask you one question? Not everyone's going to appreciate or value your time or your expertise or your efforts the way that you will. But the only way to make people value you is to value yourself and your expertise and your time first. And in that same vein, while you are valuing yourself, make sure you value everybody else's time, effort, and expertise as well. So let's say you're delegating. Let's say you're going to start delegating and you find someone who can help you do social media, but they charge quite a bit. They look a little expensive. Their rates are a bit higher than somebody else's. That could mean that they're just a lot better at it. It could mean that they're really just worth that amount of money that they're asking for. Value doesn't always tie directly to money, and it's not always going to be beneficial to just seek out the cheapest option for what you can get. Value that if someone is charging a bit more, they're probably going to be worth it. So, that lesson kind of rolled into one. Value your own time and expertise and efforts, especially when other people don't. And in exchange, be sure to place that same appreciation and value on everybody else's time, effort, and expertise too. And finally, lesson number 10, which I think is the most important one and the one that has kind of really hammered home for me, especially this year, is that if something doesn't feel right, then you can stop or take a break from it. And I say that with whatever it is that doesn't feel right anymore. You don't have to keep doing it just because you once did. Take a break or pause or stop doing it altogether. This could be, you know, maybe a particular type of service that you provide, or a particular type of product that you sell, or maybe some way that you've been running your business up until now. It was working really well, but now it just doesn't work, or it doesn't feel quite as good anymore. That's okay. Stop. Stopping something doesn't always mean that you're like quitting or that you're a failure. It can actually mean that the opposite. Like, I'm doing well, and so now I'm not going to continue doing these things that I don't really like doing. This, for me personally, has come up this year, particularly with regard to YouTube. I've been feeling, for the last year or so, a little like burnt out just from YouTube. I've been doing this channel, putting up these videos, making these videos for 10 years now. And it can be really time consuming and a lot of work, and it's not always fun. And especially this year, I took a little break from it. YouTube kind of, they screwed me a little bit on the monetization stuff. They suspended a lot of my ad revenue for some reason that wasn't very clearly explained why, and there was nothing that I could do about it. And I was like, well, I don't, now I'm not making as much money from this as I used to, and at the same time, I'm feeling really burnt out about it. Like, what's the point? So I took a few-month hiatus this year during summer and didn't post anything because I just didn't feel like doing it. And I've gotten to this point with my channel now where I don't get as excited about like making content anymore like I used to. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I've been doing this for like 10 years, and I know I have a lot of people who kind of, you know, really like my content and look forward to seeing new videos and look forward to learning more information and stuff. So am I a failure if I like stop, if I pause my channel, if I stop making content? It felt that way. And I don't know. Of course I'm not. Of course I'm not a failure if I stop doing this. But anyway, all of that is to say that, you know, I don't know exactly what is going to happen with this channel moving forward in 2024 and beyond. You guys might see a little less of me. I might not post as frequently. I might move to a different platform. You might see me on some, Patreon or something. I don't know. Keep an eye out. Make sure you're following me on social media. Get on my email list if you aren't already, so you can kind of stay up to date with what's going on. But so that's I guess is the big announcement. Not really like an announcement, but I may be, showing up here less frequently than I used to. That's all. And that is all for this episode as well, and the last episode of All Up in Your Business for 2023, and who knows, maybe a little bit longer. If you learned a thing or two, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe anyway. When I do post a new video, you'll want to make sure you know about it, so you can click that little bell so you get notified anytime I do post a new video. Like and share this video with all of your friends, and leave me a comment and stuff as well. Make sure you check the description for links to additional information and resources too. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say for right now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time.